Hello, I'm Andrea, an advanced practice nurse, and in this training video, I'm going to give an overview of my Strong Stress and Anxiety Reduction tool. This tool takes you step by step by explaining and guiding you through the process to teach you how to diminish and decrease your anxiety and stress symptoms. My focus is on helping people learn how to best master their anxiety and stress symptoms. And why do I want to do this? Because unfortunately, through my clinical work, I have seen the limits people have put on their relationships, on their goals, on their day-to-day decision-making because of anxiety. But the upside to this is you don't have to continue allowing anxiety to have this control of you. Through my work with these individuals, I have learned which methods work in reducing these uncomfortable symptoms. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, there's a thing called the hamster in the wheel mentality, where you find your mind running and running, stuck on something negative, and it becomes a snowball effect because what's a small issue gets so worked up in your mind to this bigger issue, and you become very tense and keyed up. And not only is your mind racing, but you may be experiencing heart palpitations, sweating, trembling, headaches, muscle tension. At times like these, it's important you gain control of your mind. And telling yourself to just stop thinking the negative thoughts typically doesn't work for people with anxiety issues. If it were that easy, you wouldn't be having stress and anxiety problems in the first place. Instead, what you need is a step-by-step process that takes you from that feeling of being overwhelmed to feeling in control and calm. My Strong Stress and Anxiety Reduction tool gives you the information, the tools, and the steps so that you can decrease anxiety symptoms while increasing your sense of control. STRONG is an acronym for the 6 steps that you can learn and start taking that will take you from that hamster in the wheel mentality to a more strong and self-empowered mindset. Now, let's start talking about the overview of these 6 steps. Step 1 is to stop the thought. Now, this sounds pretty basic and simple to do. However, it takes a bit of mind control to learn how to do it effectively. However, you can achieve it with practice. So when you find that your mind is running and running, focused on the negatives, and you're unable to be productive because you're so stressed, this is when you need to teach your mind how to stop the negative thought process. And the thing is there are different ways that work for different people. The key is to figuring out which way works for you. Now consider this following scenario. You have a project with a deadline fast approaching at work. You just found out that you have company coming in for the weekend and you have to clean your house. Not to mention you're running low on food, so you got to go grocery shopping and you don't know when you're going to complete any of this because you need the repairman to come over to fix your washer machine, which is about to break. Now, this was an actual situation from a client of mine, and they found themselves so stressed and anxious they couldn't focus on one thing to get anything done because they just had all these deadlines staring them in the face. At times like this, you need to train your mind how to focus on one thing at a time. So basically, you want to put a block on the negatives going on so you can allow the good, productive thoughts to be coming through. When you subscribe to my monthly course, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to present different options, different ways that you can stop this negative thought process. In addition, when you subscribe to my monthly course, I'm going to go over each one of these steps. I'm going to teach you why these steps are important in learning how to defeat stress and anxiety, how you go about implementing them into your day-to-day life, and when is the optimal time to incorporate them. So as for this first step, you learn how to do this one, and then the following 5 steps can then be utilized more effectively in your life. The second step is taking a deep breath. Deep abdominal breathing has healthy benefits for your body for different reasons. For one, when you are doing this type of breathing, you are slowing your breath down, which slows your mind down. When your breath and your mind are slowed down and your body then slows down, you're going to have a feeling of relaxation come over your entire body. Also, by doing this type of breathing, you are acting as a cleansing agent for your body. That's why yoga classes begin and end with this type of breathing, and massage therapists often utilize them in their sessions because effective deep abdominal breathing helps your lymphatic system remove the toxins from your body. Now, breathing correctly isn't just inhaling and exhaling slowly. There is more to it than that. However, once you learn it and you start practicing it regularly, it will become more natural, because at first it feels very forced and unnatural. What you can do is go to my website for a free download of deep abdominal breathing and try practicing it about twice daily for a few weeks for it to start really feeling more routine for you. It is an incredibly effective relaxation tool for you. The third step is to recognize your negative thought process. Now, when we're talking about anxiety, we're typically talking about habits that you've been engaged in for a very long period of time. And that's in part what makes it difficult for people to change, is that it's become their way of life. But one of the most self-destructive habits you can do is to talk negatively to yourself. It saps your energy and your feeling of control. It makes you doubt yourself and your capabilities. And also, people who have anxiety and stress problems tend to have little self-confidence. So when you're doubting yourself and your capabilities, you're going to be decreasing your self-confidence even more. Now, there are certain thought patterns that are common among people who experience stress and anxiety symptoms. Some of these are called all or nothing thinking, extreme thinking, and overgeneralization. Now, there are others. And once you learn about these patterns, it makes more sense as to why people with stress and anxiety talk so negative to themselves. When you subscribe to my course, I'm going to go over in detail each of these patterns, explaining what they are and showing you what they would look like. So then you can recognize if you are engaging in them. Because once you're able to see the self-defeating patterns that you do, you're going to be more effective at combating them. The fourth step in my strong tool is to opt for positive self-talk. This is choosing to fill your mind with positivity about yourself. This is the opposite of talking negatively. Basically, you want to learn how to come up with self-affirmations that you can incorporate into your day-to-day life. One of the easiest ways you can do this is learn how to challenge your automatic negative thoughts that come into your mind, questioning the validity of them, and then replacing them with a positive rebuttal. When you subscribe to my course, I will show you how to do this. I will guide you through the process. I will also show you how to come up with your own positive self-affirmations, because the most effective ones are the ones that you believe because they hold true for you. The fifth step in the strong tool is to nix your bad habits. You may not even realize the actions that you are taking regularly that are getting in the way of you really defeating your stress and anxiety symptoms. All the intentions and techniques in the world are going to have minimal effect if they're constantly battling against the negative habits that are perpetuating your stress and anxiety symptoms. The way we talk to ourselves, the way we treat ourselves, the activities that we engage in, the relationships that we keep, all of these things have a profound effect on how we see ourselves, our self-perception. If you want to start experiencing peacefulness, you need to take all of these factors into account. And you need to start bringing positive influences into your day-to-day life. When you subscribe to my course, I'm going to go over the most common negative habits that clients with stress and anxiety symptoms find themselves engaging in. And that way you can see if these are habits that you do, because once you're able to recognize your self-defeating habits, you are going to be much more effective at mastering your stress and anxiety symptoms. The sixth part of the strong tool is to get yourself moving. Engaging in activity can help get you out of your running in place, getting nowhere type of mindset that you find yourself in when you are highly stressed and anxious. And engaging in activity can be both physical movement and passive activity. Taking physical movement such as exercise is one example, and then passive activity such as being mindful of where you are and appreciating it, learning meditation. These are just a few ways in which you can get yourself moving. The point is that you want to take control out of anxiety and put the control in your own hands. And you can start doing this by believing that you can create change, by practicing it regularly, by adopting coping skills that you can incorporate into your day-to-day routine. One component of coping skills is to develop an arsenal of strategies that you can rely on to help relax you, to help keep you present-minded versus thinking of what is to come, to keep you focused on what actually is versus being preoccupied with all the what-ifs. Relaxed individuals consistently utilize their coping skills when they are feeling tense and keyed up. They make it a part of their daily life, and they make time for them, prioritizing their coping skills. When you subscribe to my course, I'm going to go over in detail how you can develop coping skills and how you can best incorporate them into your daily routine for the best effect in reducing your stress and anxiety. I'm also going to give you a number of options of coping skills that have proved effective for clients who are dealing with and who have learned how to reduce their stress and anxiety symptoms. Now I've given you an introduction and an overview to my Strong Stress and Anxiety Reduction Tool. You will receive a more thorough and descriptive presentation of my Strong tool when you subscribe to my monthly course. And as I mentioned earlier, when you subscribe, you're going to be receiving detailed information on each part, each step of the Strong tool, so that I can address any questions that you may have, as well as questions that I receive from clients on a day-to-day basis. Also, with each month's video, I'm going to be previewing what is to be coming in the following month so that you can be in the know well in advance. I've enjoyed speaking with you, and I am excited to get started with you in this process so that you can begin seeing just how much more empowered you'll feel.